Hi, this is Dr. Sheila Dobee from Your Caring Dentist. So today we're going to talk about ants. What is an ant? So I know many of you think about it like a little insect that runs around, but we're talking about ants that are up here. What does that mean? An automatic negative thought. That's what an ant is. So during this COVID time, it's really, really important to get not only disinfect our surroundings, but also disinfect what's going on in here. The reason that's important is we cannot have stress. We cannot have stress in our system. I mean, obviously we're going to have stress because things stress you out. You know, a lot of us are quarantined. We might be living with a spouse that's driving us nuts. Kids might be driving you nuts. There's so many things that are out there that can be causing stress right now. Not to imagine the financial issues that a lot of people will be facing because of not working, or do they even have a job when you go back? So there's a lot of stress out there. So it's very important to control any of the ants that are in our mind, because we really have to keep our immune system strong, because stress leads to a decrease in immune system. So let's first talk about what an ant is. An ant is an automatic negative thought that happens when something happens. Now, let's say you're reading an article. Like, I'll give you an example today. I was reading that they're trying to figure out how airborne the COVID is. So, how airborne the coronavirus is. What does that mean? That means that when someone sneezes or when someone coughs, for example, there's these big air particles and they land, and they can land on surfaces. And what happens is somebody touches that surface and then touches their face, and then it now enters their body, right? And then you get the COVID, the coronavirus, in your system. So now we know about that, but studies keep coming out that, you know, they can be in the air for a period of up to 3 hours, let's say. So what that would look like is you're in a room, somebody coughs or sneezes in there, and these little microparticles just stay in the environment, and then you walk in. But they don't know how much of this particle causes COVID. It could be a little bit, doesn't bother you, but it just a tiny, if it's one couple of little particles and they're very strong viral particles, it could cause you to have COVID. So obviously I read this and I'm like, oh my gosh, so how are you going to go grocery shopping, or how you even go to work at some point? That's pretty stressful, because you don't know where these particles are. And then I was like, wait a minute, what about when I go out for my walk? Is it safe to go for a walk? And then my mind started thinking. Now, at that point, I've done enough of this work to be like, okay, stop. I need to evaluate my thoughts, and I'll teach you that process too. But I could have easily kind of gone down that rabbit hole, and next thing I know it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to go out anywhere. You know, I'm not even going to go for my walk. But that's why it's important to control the automatic negative thoughts. So now that you know an example of an automatic negative thought, I know that we've all had them, because I mean, I know so many times I'm like, I have a little cough, is this something? And then you're like, oh, drink some water and it's gone. So automatic negative thoughts do come into our mind, and we need to learn how to kind of control them. So a couple of things that we need to do. There's some great work that Kate Byron did, and you can Google her work. She's got some really great techniques on there, and she has a good technique on how to really work with the automatic negative thoughts that go on. But let me just give you a little overview. So number one, you have to identify the automatic negative thought. So what is it that you've read? So let's take the top 3 things that are affecting people right now. Number one, am I going to catch COVID and die? And that's a thought. Number 2, is someone I love going to catch COVID and die? Number 3, am I going to be financially ruined, or have a job, or is the economy going to suffer? Something along that line. So these are the top 3 things that are causing a lot of anxiety out there. So once you identify that thought, so let's take, for example, the thought number 1, which was, am I going to die of COVID? Take the thought. Number 2, really examine that thought. What's the factual basis? Does everyone with COVID die? No. Is there a chance that you're going to be fine? Absolutely yes. So question that automatic negative thought, the ant. Is it something that is definitely means that you're going to get hospitalized and go through that whole scary ordeal? No, there's many people that just get it and it's like a common cold for them. What are the percentage of people that actually die from COVID? When you look at the stats, I mean, there is a stat there, but it is relatively quite small. So that means automatically if you get it, you're not going to die. And obviously you're taking the precautions, right? So the third thing you can do is what can you do about it? If there's something that you can do, what is it that you're doing? So for example, if it means that you have to stay home, social distancing, all the things that they're telling you about, these are things that you're going to do because you can control that. Now, you can't control the research that's going out there. There's things that you cannot control. So there's no point in worrying about that, which I know is easier said than done. The third thing that you have to do is assess what happens to you when you think about this thought. So when you think about, oh my gosh, I'm going to die with COVID, it can be debilitating. It can be something that causes your heart to stress out. You might sweat. You might get anxiety. You might have a panic attack. So just kind of assess, how does that thought make you feel? And then after that, assess, well, what happens if I didn't have this thought? And obviously, if you didn't have that thought, you may be feeling more relaxed. You may be just feeling like in a better place because you're not having that thought. So therefore, you really have to challenge every single thought that you have, and every single negative thought that you have, because that's the only way you're going to kind of disinfect it out of your brain and keep your system safe. So always question your automatic negative thoughts, and then try and reframe it. Like, okay, wait a second. No, I know that, yes, it's out there, but what is the good thing that's coming out? Well, at least at this point, yes, there is COVID out there, but at least the world is working together. The scientists are working together. The whole world is in this situation together. So someone is going to figure this out. Some establishment is going to figure out what is the best thing to do and how to eradicate this at some point. And then look at the positive in it. Well, at least you're home, you're sheltered, you're safe. Yeah, just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, giving you a lot more techniques. As you know, I do a lot of research, and I'll find things that can help you get through this. Anyway, I hope this was useful. So if you did like this, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and till next time, and here's to living a happy, healthier, and vibrant lifestyle.